Chris, welcome back to EC Football Club. Just firstly, talk to us about how this move came about.
So, come as a surprise, I'm not going to lie. I had the club contact me saying that EC Football Club had made contact, made an approach. And yeah, they basically said they'd like to speak to you on a few different things, and that they were willing to allow me to do that. So it was conversations with Yeovil, obviously, to have that agreement from them to allow me to do that. And when that happened, they asked me if I wanted to. It was a no-brainer to speak to Stuart, obviously.
Supporters will know you from your time as a player and as a manager here. Just talk us through some of your favourite memories. We were just touching it on before we started recording, but just talk to us about some of the favourite memories from your previous stints here.
Yeah, lots of good memories. I mean, obviously, when I first come to the football club as a player, there was a big ambition to try and get promoted from the Conference South. It was a big project, and managed to do that as a player coming in, and that was a great experience with a great group of players and management, and it was a great success. And then the next step obviously was getting into the national conference, and yeah, the dream has always been to be in the Football League. The reason I come to the football club in the first place was to try and achieve that, step by step, obviously. They're now been in the National League for a long time, and it's amazing that 10 years go by and you get an opportunity to come back and try and achieve what you set out to do in the first place.
Yeah, for the supporters, just talk to us about what your role entails exactly, because I know there's a lot of phrases, sporting director, technical director, but director of football here. Just explain what that actually means.
Yeah, no, listen, there's, as you said, lots of different names for the role. I'd like to say it's a unique role. I think it's an in-between the manager and obviously the chairman, who has put a lot of time, effort, money into this football club, and he wants to achieve something which we all do, from the fans to everybody. We all want to achieve that Football League dream. So it's a role in between him and the manager, working alongside the fans, the community, recruitment side of things. So a bit of everything, really. It's very broad, it's very open, with the ultimate aim of let's try and achieve the ultimate.
How do you plan to balance immediate results whilst building success that can be sustainable for the club?
It takes time. I'm not sitting here saying this is going to happen overnight, because it doesn't. We all know that there's 24 teams striving to try and get into the Football League, and that's obviously a difficult thing. You know, it's something that you have to put a lot of money into it, a lot of time into it. You have to get things right off the field, on the field. There's loads that come with it. The foundations are here. That's one thing for sure. There is a base now. It's miles better than it was when I was here as a manager and player and whatever. So it's got that right. There are other things that we need to get right. We need to get everyone believing that this club is capable of doing that. I think maybe in the past it's lost that belief a little bit. But it has to have everybody pulling in the same direction. And I mean everybody. You're talking about the tea lady, people who give their time up, volunteers, staff, fans, players. And if everyone starts doing that, you got half a chance, because the funding is obviously given all the time by the chairman. And then it's just about getting other bits and pieces right along the way.
How do you see the club's EDS and youth pathway fitting into your plans?
Yeah, it's a big part of it. Another thing that I didn't mention before is the youth will be heavily involved in my role. I've had lots of experience over the last 10 years since leaving Eastleigh, and one of them was working in youth. I've worked in the college system. I've worked in with Torquay United, and I was head of development there. And that's a massive part of the growth of the football club as well, is that you have that right. It's a great programme and you've got good people doing it. I will say that one of the big things for me is when you walk into a new environment, and you get to have a look around. There's people here that are good people. They want to achieve good things, and that's a good start. You know, you just need to get everybody else joining in with that. So that will be a big role. There's some good talent. I went to watch my first game the other day, which was very early, which is great, and I was really pleased to see the talent that is there. We have to nurture that. We have to look after that. There is obviously restrictions in that because, as you all know, if you don't get in the Football League, you can't protect your players at youth level, so it's very difficult. So we have to work on those different avenues and try and make sure that we're bringing them through without getting stolen off us, I suppose, you could say.
I suppose recruitment is a really important part of maybe your role and for a football club in general. How important is it that future signings and players that are currently here understand the spirit of Eastleigh and buy into the club?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things. I think the reason I've come back is I know this club. I know it inside out. I've seen it grow. I've seen it develop over the years. I know what time goes into it. I know what commitment goes into it, and that will be something that I have to look hard at. We won't always get them right because you don't. That's the way it is. But it has to be a lot more, in my opinion, a lot more research into it. Let's make sure that the people are coming through a value for money. They want to play for the badge. They want to see the ambition and the culture that the club is trying to achieve, basically.
Yeah, and just finally, what's your message to the supporters about their role in this journey?
They always play a big part. They're the most important. Listen, it doesn't matter where you are, what any club in the country. The supporters are the tick-in. They make you work on so many levels. If you don't involve them and make them feel that this club is trying to achieve something, and everybody's working extremely hard to try and do that, the players, everybody, then it doesn't work. You have to have a unity with them and a commitment to them as well, and they give that back to you in abundance, you know. And I know the fans and what they're like. You give them something to cheer about and they'll cheer, and hopefully we can make more of that and keep kicking on as a football club.
Welcome back, Chris.
Thank you very much. Cheers.